8-foot log home using large ponderosa pine logs. Creston, Washington. Very simply, in this simple scribe, you set your scribe to the distance between the two logs, this lower log and this upper log. The lower log is your pattern log. This log here is your pattern log. And here's your object log. You want to set your scribe to the distance between. See, this log is going to be fitting down to this lower log here. So you want to set your scribe to the smallest distance, either here or the outside out here. Set your scribe to that distance. That way it leaves you a little extra meat when you scribe it. Leaves you a little extra meat to cut out later if you have to readjust. So set your scribe here. Then, holding your scribe in the proper scribing manner. Yes. Usually give it about an extra inch, a half inch there in big logs like this. Hold your scribe level like this. So it's level here at the end between distance, and plumb, up and down, not sideways or otherwise, straight up and down like this. Then taking your scribe, holding it plumb, one out, up across, down the other side. You got a good mark. And then come from the bottom out here, come up, over. Broke my pencil. But you can see we've made a mark there. Go to the outside, mark it out there. Then close your scribe, go down to your next notched area, and scribe that. Set your scribe the same way. This here, the pencil broke. This is a bottle of ink and a pencil, which works real well on these wet, damp logs. And you can see the mark there. See the mark there, right? Right there, you can see the mark going up across. Okay, what we've done is we've reached the 6th round, and we're going to go on to the ceiling joist after this round. These logs here, this one here, on this long wall, and the one on the opposite long wall. This one over here is the largest one. One on the other side is the smaller one. This is the largest one because we had more meat to notch over here. More log left down this lower log here to notch over. There, there, and there. So we put the larger log on this side of the log home. The smaller log on the other side. And of course sequenced it with the small end over the big end. And the big end over the small end down here of this log here. Okay, once I've rolled them in position and mounted them on the wall, then I slid them out till they sit properly over the log below, this one here. And now we will scribe, do the first rough initial scribe for scribing this down at all 3 locations. Scribe it so that it will sit down close to the log below, so then we can scribe for V-notch. We want it close to the log below to scribe for V-notch. because you get a better mark then. So let's go ahead and do that. It's getting up quite a ways. It's better than 6'6" inside, right at this log right here, at the top of this log. So we've got quite a bit of height just from 6 logs. And over there is, we're getting the doorways open bigger. This will all be backfilled right about to in just below the vents. But you can see it's working out real well. You wouldn't have thought so from the logs we had in the log pile. They all look uniform, they look like they belong there. A little dirty, but that's because the muddy ground, we had to drag them across the muddy ground, and they didn't have time to clean them properly, so they'll do all that after they're up. Important thing is get them off the ground and get them up before winter. So that's what we're going to do. Try our best. Let's look at the scribing, the initial scribe. And here's what you do. This is a standard scribe, or standard scribe for me. And it's got a pencil here. It's called a bottle of ink and a pencil. These are good mark on a log that is damp. And what we do is using the proper scribing manner. We at all 3 places where this log touches the log below, we measure the distance with the scribe between the lower log, which is the lower log, and the upper log. We take and set this scribe to that dimension between the 2 logs. We pick the smallest dimension, either here or on the other side of the notch here. Over here, right over here. Once we have that set on the pencil, then we go ahead and we hold our scribe level at all times as we come up and out. We hold it level. And we hold it plumb. We don't want it tipping over the side either way like this. Especially critical is when you come right out of here up. Hold your point here, your lower point, tight to this log here, which is your pattern log. And come up tight with your pencil against the bottom of this upper log. And move out in a smooth fashion, plumb. Just like that. Try it a couple times. And leave you a nice mark there. Keep it vertical and level at all times. Level this way and plumb this way. Left and right. Then go over here, reach over to the other side, come on up out of the bottom here. You always come up out of the bottom. That way you won't hang up on. There we got a nice mark there. Now I go to the other side of this log right over here, sit on the log out there, scribe it outside. Then do the same thing to the other, that end of the log and that end of the log. This is in the center of the log here. And you see me get outside. A little difficult to do. Sometimes you gotta have proper staging. Get your pencil just like this. Come up against it. And you see me holding it proper. Come on up and across. And up and across. Usually sometimes you have to be careful, you break your pencil, which I just did. Up, out, and across. And that's all there is to it. Then you roll the log up, saw it down to the lines, and so you can see there. Here you have a nice scribe line, and the one on the other side. Go to the next notching portion, the other end of the log, and reset your scribe. Scribe the rest of the log. Then go to the other log on the other side of the wall and do the same thing. Idea what you got there, your scribe line right there. Up and across. Thing on the opposite wall. This this log here isn't centered over that log below. But I set this initial notch down. I just set the scribe as close to the distance as I can. By sighting out. Same thing out here. And go ahead, take my scribe, come up against the log, bottom of the upper log, and right on up over. And back and forth, make an arc. And this notch down gives you a pretty good practice for doing your V-notch scribe, because you're going to scribe again and come up here higher, and it gives you a good practice session on this initial notch down. Quickly, the way it looks as a whole, you just come up with your log. Here you've got a gap. You want to measure to the full distance between the two logs. Don't worry about this gap. You're going to measure because you want this log to come down to this log, not to this log. It'll conform to this log here, but it's got to come down and sit close to this log, this lower log here. So set our scribe to the dimension, check there, check out here. Smallest dimension's right here. Take your scribe, set it to there, go back and forth, proper scribing manner, up across, down under here, up across. Pencil's not marking too good today. Sometimes if you got a little drier wood, fill in with a stencil, felt marker. There. And go to the outside, do the same thing out there. Out here. Lots of dirt on these logs. And I sit down out here, and same setting, same reading. Take my scribe, right here, parallel to the log below, up across. Out here, and same thing, up across. Come out. Make sure you get a good mark. And it comes lines up under there. We'll roll up and see it. Then I'll go on down there and reset the scribe. So do the third and last notch. And roll her up and saw down to those lines. That's it for the initial scribe. Okay. What we've done is scribe it. See the scribe line up there? Go right up across. There. And put it down the log. Right there. We scribed up across again. Right there. And at the far end down there. So, you see we're getting up pretty high here. Cut these doors open a little larger. There. This is a smaller log in position. Initial notch. way across till you get this section all the way across, and then knock them out, and then smooth it in. That's how it looks up close. Saw right down to the line. Once you knock them pieces out, the square cut of the saw makes the line, and you use the square cut of the saw down through for your viewing, so you can see where to cut down to when you're cutting out, smoothing it out. To knock these out. Our hammer. saw. You can use these marks from your saw cut. Use them for a pattern for laying out, for sawing, cleaning it up. Show you that. Clean up this side from standing on the other side, and clean up that side from standing over here. Making a mess where you cleaned up, Wes. Keep scooping it out. That gives you a pretty good idea how you do it. You have it initially notched down, you can see that they're fitting pretty close to the log below. That's notched down and down there. They're close enough to the log below that you can scribe your V-notch. This one over here, that there's a notch I just did. See, the log's a little crooked, but that crooked was put to the inside and outside of the log home. Let's go over and take a look at this notch. I dished lower than the line that was out here, so that it would have a concave in there in case there was any bumps or knots on the log below. It would hold it up off from sitting down. Go ahead and saw these other 2 knots out. Remember, get your initial knots down, then get it a little close to the log below, and then we'll scribe it for V knots. That's the next step. done. Yeah, go ahead and roll it down. See how it fits and line it up over the log below. Now with the pry, I'll weasel it over into line where it's directly over the logs below. Line it up properly and then scribe for the V-notch. Okay, when you're looking at it for the V-notch, look underneath, see where your biggest gap is. So you can see that light through there. The biggest gap is right down here at this end, right there. So we'll set our scribe so that we're about 1 inch up beyond that gap, wider than that gap. And then we will scribe for the V-notch. That'll put the scribe at about 2 inches. And then we'll just go ahead and scribe over this notch, down the log, up over this notch, down the log, up over that notch, go down the other side with the same setting, all the way back down the other side. And we'll leave a scribe mark that we'll saw down to make our V-notch. 1 or 2 inches usually is what your scribe setting will be. In this particular case, it's a big log, so we can take out more if we want to. We can set it to 2.5 if we wish. Getting up quite a ways. can scribe along pretty fast that way. Let's take a closer look at that. Right there, you can see I scribed on over, and you can see the line going all along there. The camera's got a squeak in it. And you can see it follows the contour of the bumps below, see? These bumps down below here. It just follows them. And just move right along. There. And we'll get a look and see what it looks like upside down. Just holding your scribe. You don't have to worry about up and down so much as, and you can kind of lead along like this. You can lead and go move pretty fast. You can go left or right pretty good and move along. You don't want to be up or down. What happens is the scribe centers itself between the gap. It centers itself. The bottom and the top points set themselves. So we'll just go ahead and move along like that. We'll see what it looks like when it's turned upside down. Do both sides and up over all notches.